Here we go. So I'm doing a video related to if a liberal went back in time to kill Hitler. You probably already heard a variation of this before. Like if you went back in time, would you kill Hitler? If you went back in time, would you kill Hitler as a baby? If you went back in time, would you kill Hitler before the war? If you went back, it's basically like that. It's a hypothetical based off history where Hitler just seems to be the most popular one used for it. But anyways, this whole thing is just if a liberal went back in time successfully and did it. We're gonna see what happens, but yeah. My thought on the question simply is if someone did kill him, we don't know what would happen in the timeline because we don't live in it. So we can't justifiably say what happens in the world afterward if it did happen. That's me. I know it may sound boring, but that's the most realistic answer, which is we wouldn't know because we don't actually live in that timeline where he died early. But now we're gonna get into it. Ooh. 1933. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! That guy actually. I'll give them credit. That guy actually looks a lot like that.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm a time traveler
What
from
the fuck? Wait a minute. Is that a 3D pro? Oh my god, they got a 3D printed gun. Oh, my guess is simply because liberals don't trust guns or like guns. So then she had to 3D print it. And to be honest, I can't even tell what this would even shoot. Cause like, it has a trigger and but what does it shoot? Cause it doesn't look like a regular gun. It looks so, stupid. It's probably one of those plastic ones that after the first shot breaks itself and then doesn't work again. Anyways, let's keep going. But yeah, that is an atrocity, man. That is an atrocity.
the year 2025,
Yep.
and I've come here to kill you, Hitler.
Oh, not again.
Oh, they actually nailed both looks. To be honest, like this is how I expect a super radical liberal to look, at least in terms of like the white middle class female, if that's what they're going for. And the Hitler, I will say, he looks spot on. Like he could almost work in a movie, to be honest. But yeah, they both look spot on. And let's continue.
I'm never gonna have enough time to finish these paintings with all of these time travelers
Yep.
trying to kill me.
Well,
So this is like the fifth one this week, probably at that point.
I'm going to succeed.
Oh,
Before you pull the trigger,
mm-hmm.
can I just ask why? Why do all of you people want to kill me?
So yeah, everyone wants to kill him, and let's see where this goes. But still, though, that gun is horrendous.
Isn't it obvious? I'm a progressive, a liberal, a fighter.
Oh yeah, in European countries, if I remember correctly, a small nitpick here: liberal in Europe and America, you generally isn't the same thing. Generally, liberal there, at least at least at this time, would be that they want small government and personal liberties, whereas liberals now are more so progressive and more in the line of more so to be aligned with the Democratic Party in America. That doesn't mean there aren't liberals in the Republican Party. That just means that liberals tend to be Democrat, and because of that, the term has been pretty much washed up and used as an identifier for Democrat rather than just what liberalism actually was before. Almost forgot to state, at this time, Hitler would be chancellor. So right now, he doesn't have full control of everything, but he has a lot of control. I won't go too deep into it, but he basically takes full power in 1934 later on, but he's very, very high in power currently.
He's devastated the world for decades. Soon, we will be able to take back the White House, and we will be able to use the government to force people to follow our great ideas.
That's the part where their ideology actually does align with them. Because taking over the government to force people to align with your ideas, I'm going to say this, a lot of authoritarian governments use it, and the Nazis are authoritarian. Because that's basically the idea. The idea is, I know what I'm doing. I'm perfect. So we're going to do this my way. It's kind of like a monarchy but with extra steps, but it's really close to that in terms of, basically one person or a group of people have highly consolidated power between themselves that is very hard to get if you're an outsider.
You want to use government power to force your
Yep.
ideas on the populace.
Yep.
Me too!
Yeah. Oh god. He agreed with it. That was exactly his ideals. Yeah. So this is kind of the irony of it, which is she thinks she's protecting people by doing that, but she hasn't done any research on Hitler or World War II to know that's basically one small portion of his ideas, which is that enforcing his rules on people. Like in Nazi Germany, if you didn't join the Nazis, they were going to kill you. Like that's a fact. Yeah, so for example, there were a lot of people who didn't want to be, part of the Nazi regime at the time, and they were imprisoned, persecuted, or killed, things like that because they didn't agree with, the Nazi ideology. So for him, basically they were seen as people that were weaknesses or potentially able to disrupt the power of the Nazi government. So, he got rid of them.
That's fantastic!
What? No, no. Ugh. You and I have nothing in common. What I'm saying is there are
Yep.
people in our time with dangerous ideas, and we need to silence them.
And that by itself is another thing. Hitler did not like free speech. Like, you don't talk bad about Hitler, you don't talk bad about the government. Basically, those were his ideas, which is you can't talk badly about them because that basically means you're basically against the government.
Silencing those who disagree with you.
Yep.
I do that too!
Bro, bro, that guy's reactions are actually kind of funny. But yeah, that's the thing. He does it too. So the irony is kind of like they're looking into a mirror of all their ideals are basically just modified versions of his ideals in the past.
Oh, wunderbar! Ah, the Nazi movement will not die with me.
Yep.
Don't give me that.
Technically, Hitler is correct. I mean, to be honest, that statement is technically true. There's a guy named, if I think to correctly say it is Rudolf Hess, but basically he was the last actual official member of the Nazis. And let me think, when was he killed? Yeah, so Rudolf Hess died in 1987. So that's pretty much, yeah, so that's Reagan. So yeah, that's pretty much during the Reagan era. Yeah, the last official Nazi was alive for a little part of it. He was kept in this jail for so long to the point where every other prisoner died except him. So it was just one big jail solely for that one prisoner. And the guards, because he's been trapped in there for such a long time, they were doing things like playing cards with him and all that. Basically, he was not a threat to society anymore because he was so old and so, powerless to really do anything that it didn't really matter. Many people tried to get him out, but failed, and then eventually he died because of a suicide. We don't know, but people question it because he was so old at that time. Why wouldn't he killed himself before he got to 87, I think it was. But then, there's some questions on why would he kill himself when he's 93 if he already spent all that time in jail? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So sometimes people think maybe partially the US government or another government basically killed him to silence him because his voice would have been really good. Like, he would have given us great insight into the party because he was the last official member of it. And the reason he got jailed was he went to Britain. He tried to negotiate peace, but in return they imprisoned him and he was stuck there. And that's exactly what happened with him.
I'm enlightened, and you're
Yep.
as bad as, well, as Hitler.
Yeah. To be honest, she could have said he's as bad as the Ottoman Empire because they committed the Armenian genocide, and Hitler, he actually took inspiration from them. He was not the first to do it. He just was like, "Oh, these guys had a cool idea. Let's do it myself." And eventually, those ideas would then help shape what the German party eventually would become later in the future.
Listen, what I'm trying to say
Yep.
is we are very close to implementing a utopia, as long as we can get rid of some certain undesirable people groups.
Yes!
Oh, yep, undesirable people groups. So, from a liberal perspective, this would technically be Trump supporters as well as Republicans and even Democrats that don't fully agree with their ideology. So, it would be a very broad group. It can't really be set into one because, JFK Democrats would literally be Nazis to these people. So it would be that broad group, and yeah. And Hitler's group, it wasn't just Jews. Jews were the main ones, but I think it also was homosexuals, blacks, maybe Egyptians. I'm not fully too sure on that last one, but I'm pretty sure that was like the main group of people he thought as undesirables. But that's more like a little bit of speculation from the context that I know, since I'm not a historian, so I can't tell you every little detail.
Likes the Jews!
Yes,
Yep.
like the Jews.
What? Oh, yep. That's the agreement too. Yeah, the Jews too. I thought she was talking about that, but yeah, that also makes sense. And yeah,
Oh.
So, in the future,
Oh.
you also do not like the Jews?
Well,
let's see.
no. But we don't believe in segregating all the races like you do.
Well, actually, a decent portion of your ideology is basing who gets certain privileges based off of their skin color, race, and gender. So if someone is a black female with a disability, they pretty much they're pretty much closest to the top on the hierarchy on that hierarchy. Then there's women basically above men, and the lowest on the totem pole generally would be white men or Jewish men, generally at the bottom. There's also rich people. But yeah, that would generally be their pyramid of who takes priority. And whoever's a bigger victim basically wins at the top. But even though white women are the majority in the US, for some reason, they treat them as they're a minority, even though there's less men in America than women. Just a little fun fact.
I mean, except for like graduation ceremonies.
Right.
And dorms.
Oh, yep.
And hiring practice
Oh, yeah.
ceremonies.
Yep.
And dorms.
Mm-hmm.
And hiring practices.
Yep.
Oh, and admissions policies. That sort of
Yep.
thing.
All that
I
stuff.
too am a fan of the segregation. I'm sorry,
Yep. And
I
concentration
have to
camp.
ask, is this a real firearm or is this some kind of toy for...
Yeah, I 100% believe if Hitler saw that, he would probably laugh himself to death rather than actually die. Because that thing looks even pathetic for the time. It looks like a flintlock gun if it was if it wasn't even like 1/10 as useful. Like the worst gun ever. You could probably not even aim it correctly.
fucking...
It's a
Yep.
flare gun. I'm trying not to support
Oh,
America's toxic gun culture.
Fun fact, you can buy flare guns in places that generally sell guns. Not all of them have it, but there's some places that do. So, she actually is supporting it.
I'm a firm believer in gun control.
Gun control!
Yep, so...
This was one of my ideas too.
Yep.
Ban them from the undesirables. Yes, look here.
Yep, there you go, ban them from the undesirables. Except them, it would be basically everyone in the United States because guns are dangerous. The biggest contradiction in a lot of that radical ideology is, so you want to get rid of the guns away from the civilians because civilians are dangerous and guns are dangerous. But then You want to implement socialism, which socialism's entire structure is you have either a leader or multiple leaders at the top, whether it's state or whether it's a giant set of people who control everything for the people below it. The government already is not very good at doing that. So why would you want to give those people at the top even more power than they already do to implement things in the snap of a finger rather than, annoying ass policy that's going to take like years to implement? Big nitpick, which is socialism is the idea of socialism is it's supposed to be perfect, but the problem is humans aren't perfect and we don't have a perfect leader. Therefore, socialism can never be perfect because people can be bribed, people have preferences. Not everyone can truly, there's not really any single person on earth who could truly be neutral to really everything. Because if you're neutral to everything, you're not really a leader because you can't act on anything. So the whole point of it basically destroys itself.
And your shirt. This is an
Yep.
organization founded by Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger. So for anyone who doesn't know about her, basically she was a white supremacist and wanted to use eugenics to get rid of the black race. This is a very dark spot in, that part of history. It's one of those things where there's a lot of people who create certain systems, and to be honest, there's bound to be like a lot of evil people who either implemented good or bad things. But yeah, the creator of Planned Parenthood, basically, she wanted that. And what Planned Parenthood just did afterward was scrub that part of her off of it, because the reality is it's not bad to acknowledge that some people fucked up. It isn't. But erasing what they did from history basically means someone else is just gonna happen to do it again, and then the cycle repeats itself. You can support something, and if the leader of it was like that and sketchy, you can just argue that, over time the ideas changed, therefore it's good. It's kind of like America. Before we had slavery, but now we don't. So you could so if you wanted to, you could easily say America is good now because even though slavery was a initial implementation of America, it was eventually phased out until it no longer exists. Therefore, America is better now than it was then. This is a simple argument you could make, but I'm not going to get into the things like abortions and all that because that's such a hot issue. Like anything you pick, it doesn't matter what your views are. People are gonna hate you no matter what. Like that one's one of the bigger ones. It's just like a minefield. No matter what you say or what you do, people are gonna find a way to hate it because it's such a hot button issue.
Yes?
Wait, you know about Margaret Sanger?
Jawohl, of course.
Yeah. I also oh wait, I'll say this before we continue. She was born in the 1800s, so there actually is a chance Hitler knew about her, but I don't know myself if he actually did know about her. So I'll just, so I personally don't know if he actually knew about her.
Oh, she's such a lovely person.
No.
Mhm.
She's a fighter for reproductive rights, for
Mhm.
women's empowerment,
And the eradication of undesirable populations by
Yep.
means of eugenics. Brilliant.
Yep, and black people basically. Yeah, that was her thing. She wasn't Jews, she was black people. So yeah.
Lady, very inspiring.
Mhm.
I must use some of her ideas in our socialized healthcare system.
socialized health
I'll actually research that later if he actually did use that. That actually sounds interesting to me.
care. That's not your thing. That's our
Yep.
thing.
Oh, no.
Yep, and that's the thing. That socialized healthcare. She likes it. He liked it. Like, cause think about it. He's a socialist. Therefore, everything pretty much is done through the government with little to no leeway on the free market, if there even is one allowed. So yeah, socialist government, and basically government runs everything. There you go.
Was very much my thing. Did you know that Nazi means National Socialist German Workers' Party?
Yep, that's exactly the definition of it. And yeah, because I remember I once had a comment that was like the Nazis weren't socialist on another video. And then I just retorted to him the literal definition of Nazi, and boom, that was it.
Nazi is just more catchy. Nazi, 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 Nazi.
Yeah.
Just rolls off the tongue.
No. This can't be true. This has to be some sort of mistake. We are nothing alike. You're Adolf.
I mean, this is the reality. I'm just gonna say it. Like, it's very easy to nitpick things that people have in common.
Hitler, evil right-wing fascist dictator, and I'm a feminist.
Oh yeah, basically in Europe, right wing is extremely radical. So almost everybody really in those countries now would be considered liberal because right wing was so overly specific on certain values that it's very hard to put a lot of people in it. They use it as an insult though, which is probably how we later got it as an insult when they say like far what right wing, even though our right wing doesn't really align with it that well.
Restorative justice advocate and a vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian? Me too!
Yep. Oh, fun fact, he also didn't smoke. So yeah, if you put like a ballot saying who would you vote for, and then write he's a vegetarian, he doesn't smoke. I think he also liked animals. But if you put that, people would vote for it, and then next thing you know, you flip the coin and you see Hitler, and boom.
Okay, I am so confused right now. I came here with a clear goal in mind to kill the most evil man to have ever lived.
For that, there's a lot of people you could really add to that. Like, you could add Joseph Stalin, 80 million people. You could add I forgot his last name, but he's from China. He's an evil dictator. And I think his was like close to 50 million, something like that. But there's a lot of people you could really add to that list.
Besides Ronald Reagan.
Aw, why you gotta throw shade at Reagan like that? Oh yes, Ronald Reagan. If I remember, yeah, after him came H.W. Bush, then Clinton. And H.W. Bush was basically an expansion of the Reagan era with a few things that he screwed up on. So it wasn't a perfect transition of the Reagan era. And pretty much ever since then, all Republicans wanted to try and be Reagan until Donald Trump became president. And then Republicans didn't really try to be like Reagan again because now they have Trump. So now every Republican wants to be kind of like Trump.
But now that I'm meeting you in person,
Yep.
you're not at all what I thought you were.
Oh God.
And your painting is actually really good.
Oh yeah, his paintings were actually good. But I don't think him succeeding in art school might have changed the outcome that much. I don't really know for sure, but eh. Oh yeah, you can actually look at a lot of his paintings, and to be honest, they're actually pretty like complicated in terms of stuff. But yeah, that's another part of history, which is if you look at his paintings, like most people would look at it and say that looks good.
What do you call it?
I call it Ein Reich ohne Juden.
Oh God.
Wow. I don't know what that means, but it sounds beautiful.
Because she doesn't know the language, it's not really her fault for thinking it's beautiful, because she doesn't actually know what it means. She has no context, so all the construct she has is his words sound nice. And that's pretty much all.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh God. A little evil stare. Yeah, but overall a good video. I like that they actually knew history. So from this I could tell this video was not absolute bullshit. Ooh, the Second Amendment. Well, that one sounds interesting. Maybe I could do that a separate time, but I really like this one.